Debt favors the creditors, the bankers, the banksters, as they should more appropriately be referred to as. The national debt continues to rise along with the deficits, yet the federal taxes continue to break records. This is a system built upon perpetual debt, a debt which will ultimately crush us. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. I want to get into this information today and discuss it as quick as I possibly can. Oftentimes I say I want to make a short video and it ends up being 10 minutes long, but let's see how much information we could pack in right now. This is out of the Free Beacon. Federal debt held by the public totals $107,000 per household. You're looking at a federal debt that's $13 trillion according to this. And basically what we're looking at is an unpayable amount. There are all sorts of different numbers and figures, indicators that we can look at. None of them show a positive, rosy picture. None of them. We're not looking at this anymore in any sense of reality. There's no way of paying this back. The question is, when will this happen? How severe will the crash become? What about this? You're looking at trillions of dollars. Federal taxes set records through August. And that's $19,000 per worker. Fed still runs a $530 billion deficit. So no matter how much money you get through taxes, no matter the trillions of dollars you get in your taxes, you're going to always have a deficit. In fact, that deficit continues to increase. I've showed you these statistics before, and these are new ones, and it seems to me that the deficit just continues to rise. Let's move on to Alibaba. Everyone loves Alibaba because they're the reason why the stock market is doing so well. This is another company to invest in. This is the new Facebook and Twitter and everything else. The dot-com boom is here again. PE ratios through the roof. Alibaba shares could fall another 50%, says Barron's cover story. Shares of Alibaba, which recently slipped below their IPO price, having skyrocketed 75% in their first 2 months of trading, could lose another 50% of their value, according to them. The reasons the weekly financial newspaper gave for the outlook was that China's struggling economy, increasing competition in e-commerce, and more scrutiny of the company's culture and governance. So no, that's not the way it works. When computer algorithms, which are trading in this market, they are seeking to earn a profit. That's their job. So essentially what we have is this opportunity when a new stock comes out, or perhaps a merger or acquisition or some news. They're trying to make profit off of that. I guess the computer algorithms have dumped Alibaba, perhaps seeking to dump even more. That's the way this works. It's not about fundamentals. It's about computer algorithms. Let's look at this. Mumbai. As we see in our Financial Times, a sprawling seaside mansion in Mumbai, whose former owners include the U.S. government and this Indian Maharaja, has been sold for $113 million, the most expensive residential property deal in India's history. There's an extremely wide divide, a chasm, a schism, which has formed in between the rich and the poor. This is getting worse every single day. This isn't just the U.S. You can see the same deal happening in India. And let's continue on to this right here, to another nation, Malaysia. Before I forget, I wanted to mention this was sent to me by one of my subscribers. I'm always getting stuff from the subscribers, great information, very knowledgeable people. And this happens to be out of the Wall Street Journal. Malaysia's leader said his government would invest billions of dollars to boost the financial markets and the economy, and pledge transparency over a state investment fund that the country's anti-corruption agency is investigating, trying to basically calm the markets down. Don't worry, everybody. We are going to take care of it. Yes, the SEC did that very well. Weak commodity prices and a slowing Chinese economy have battered Malaysian markets and added to pressure on the Prime Minister as protesters challenge his rule. So whenever you have a problem, just print money, send it off into the stock market, and lo and behold, your problems will be solved. Malaysia is just one of many countries who is buying up shares of their own stock market, a very dangerous proposition. Japan's crippled Fukushima nuclear plant Monday began releasing previously contaminated water into the sea. Now, let's reread that for a second. Just think about that. It was previously contaminated, and now they're dumping it into the sea. So as if we don't have enough problems to worry about with all the QE, all of our money basically going to all of this taxes, all of these different schemes and scams that they conjure up. And here they are yet again publicly dumping formally radioactive water into the sea. I don't believe that for a second, because they've been getting away with this for so long. In fact, I was under the assumption that Fukushima was just leaking into the water and the soil regardless. That's the way I see it happening, but of course the individuals in the mainstream media don't agree. They promise, they really do swear that they haven't had encountered any of this falsehood here, that they are definitely telling the truth. And of course, this water has been filtered before entering the sea. Let's move on. This is from my book. What we're looking at is the mistakes of government. This is from the chapter on the crash or the depression of 1920. I'm not talking about 1929, the Great Depression. I'm talking about what I call the ghost crash of 1920, because no one even knew it happened. Why? Because, as I said here, the crisis was solved simply by cutting costs and expenditures of the government. As many economists and scholars would like to ignore, the economy began its upward trend in 1921. So think about that. Just over a year's worth of time, and they're able to recover. We're still years and years into this, and we can't recover. The real economy, that is. And that's all without massive bailout package and other means of government interventions. The government slashed the federal spending by 65% in a single year. Think about what that would do right now. That would cause a major catastrophe, I believe. But it just shows you what can be done if you cut government spending. What about cutting out all these nuclear bombs you're trying to build up and everything else that they're doing, all this silliness, invading countries that have nothing to do with what you've supposedly set out to do. Anyway, I don't want to go off topic on this. That's enough for this video. If you found it informative, please give me a thumbs up. I want to continue to make as many videos as I can, but I'll only do so when I have a jam-packed episode. I never want to bring you some fluff. A lot of people do that. They don't have a video, but they want to do so. So you hear them just ranting for 10 minutes. That's not what I'm about. I hope you do appreciate that, of course. If you do, always please give me a thumbs up. It's very important. Last but not least, if you found the video informative, I know you'll find my book, The Money GPS, even more informative. You can actually flip through the book. If you go over to Amazon, they have this look inside feature, which allows you to flip through the book and see if you like it. Take care.